Very lovely afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the show where we're live streaming on Twitter or X Spaces, as well as on YouTube on the Joy 99.7 YouTube channel. This is your biggest Friday afternoon sports talk show, and this afternoon we are on from now till 3 p.m. Proudly brought to you by Petrosol and DSTV, of course, proud sponsors of this program. What's on the menu today? Dreams FC are in action in the second leg of the CAF Confederation Cup. They are on the verge of history, on the cusp of history, of glory. It's what it is on Sunday. Free gates. But how can they do the impossible? They're basically traveling on charted waters. They've never been here, but they are here now. Can they scale yet another hurdle? This team has shown that they have great resilience, and lots of hurdles have been thrown their way, and they have absolutely destroyed every single one of them. Yet another one stands between them and history on Sunday. How can they get over that? So we'll get into that conversation pretty shortly. Within this week, the GFA made so many appointments to the junior national teams, a conversation we tried to have last week. Lots of appointments. Lots of coaches have been giving opportunities. So we'll try and see who is coaching what. Remember that we said last week that they created so many new national teams, 5 new national teams for the women and 4 new national teams for the men. They've now appointed coaches for them. We'll tell you who is coaching which national team. Off to England, and there is a colossal capitulation in Merseyside, and it's gone straight down the red side of Merseyside. Liverpool, only 2 weeks ago, we were here having a conversation about how Liverpool were favourites, how the Premier League title was theirs to lose. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that they have absolutely thrown it away. But it's not the first time, is it? Because in 9 years of Jurgen Klopp's tenure at Liverpool, he's only won the Premier League once. So how has he not won all those other 8 years? Well, this is the 9th year, barring a miracle, of course. So how has that happened? You know, a lot of people always like to say, let's put it in context. But also, when you just look at it, in that same period, there's another manager across in Manchester who's won 6 of those titles. It's unbelievable. So how is he able to do it and Klopp can't? And yet every single time we are forced to have a conversation and put the two of them on the same pedestal. So the question is, has Jurgen Klopp been underwhelming in his tenure as Liverpool if he doesn't end this season with the Premier League title? It would have been 9 years. Just one Premier League title in 9 years. In 9 years. Come on, man. Brother Klopp. 9 years. One Premier League title. Is that good enough? Is that really good enough? It's a good question to ask. And I'm sure Liverpool fans would be asking themselves, not just Liverpool fans, even for every single fan out there, the question we're asking is, what do you define success? And on the pedestal of that success that you define, where do you rate Jurgen Klopp? Or how do you rate Jurgen Klopp's tenure as Liverpool boss? Remarkable success, average success, underwhelming, or failure? 1 Champions League in 9 years. 1 Premier League title in 9 years. He's bottled the Premier League title race more times than any other football club in the 9 years he's been in charge. Or he didn't bottle it. Maybe Man City were just better. But to be fair, in some of those seasons where Liverpool didn't win the league title, they had been in great advantageous position and they have thrown it away like they have done this season. They were in the lead 2 weeks ago when we had the conversation about the running, 3 teams and who would win. Liverpool were top of the Premier League table. And in less than 15 days, they've been kicked out of the Europa League. They've been kicked out of the FA Cup by Man United, and they are now firmly behind in the Premier League title race. What is going on there, Mr. Klopp and his Liverpool team? It's a great conversation we'll have today, and I want to hear from you. 055 1111997 055 1111997. Welcome to the show. And oh, Daddy K, Suchofe, Philip Achim, and Achitabaklo are here, and I'm not sure exactly what their problem is. But guys, welcome to the show. Agenda is nice, okay? It's an interesting conversation to be had, is it not? It's interesting. Okay, I've asked the question, okay? So let me know what your thoughts are. Send me a message. I also use the hashtag game plan on the X or on Twitter, and we will read that for you. What is your rating of Jurgen Klopp's 9 years in charge of Liverpool? 1 Premier League title, 2 EFL titles, 1 FA Cup title, and several lost finals. He lost 1 EFL final to Man City, lost the Europa League final to Sevilla, lost a Champions League final to Real Madrid, 2 of them to Real Madrid. And every single domestic cup Jurgen Klopp has won, by the way, has been against Chelsea. Can you believe that? Beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, beat Chelsea in the 2 EFL Cup finals. Even the European Super Cup final, he beat Chelsea. So when Klopp isn't playing Chelsea, his record in finals is 1. When he's not playing Chelsea, his record in the finals is 1 out of 3. Out of 4, actually. Because he lost 2 to Real, lost 1 to Sevilla, and then won 1 against Spurs. So when he's not playing Chelsea, his record in the finals is 1 in 4.
5.
5? When he's not playing Chelsea?
Man City.
There you go. Oh my word. So he's lost to City, lost twice to Real Madrid, lost once to Sevilla,
2 Madrid.
2 Madrid,
1 Tottenham.
1 Tottenham. The your mic is on. It's like
Yes,
you are
1
whispering.
over 5.
It's 1 over 5. Okay. Charlie, it's like the conversation is going in a certain direction. It's not looking good. So, Joffrey, how are you, man? DK. Ashu.
I'm in great spirits. Much better than I was in the morning. So, yeah.
You weren't feeling well in the morning?
No, I wasn't. Just
Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you.
Okay,
Say how you feel. I'm feeling good.
What happened to you in the morning?
I don't know. I think it happened. It started last night.
You're feeling feverish.
No, it was just.
He didn't go home. That's why. He didn't go home.
My friend, don't come and lie to us.
I went home.
The guy say catch flu. Why you didn't fear?
That was it.
You caught a flu.
Yeah.
Anyone that has a flu, you can tell it in your voice. I can't tell one bit in your voice that
I
you
said I'm better now. I said I'm better now.
You caught a flu in the morning and by
last night.
afternoon.
2 hours.
Last night.
Last night.
Yes.
Atu is he's lying. Atu is lying. He didn't go home.
Oh my God. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. We'll talk about Dreams FC. That's only in fact, that is the best place to start. Achu, and you have been following this team very closely. You were there last week to do a special. In fact, you were there twice. You went there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You went to meet them at the airport last week. You spoke to Karim Zito extensively. You did a report on them, on the journey so far, the lessons they picked from the first leg, and their preparations for this game against Zamalek. And by the way, even before Achu comes in, now I don't want to say if Dreams do make it, the winner of this game between Dreams FC and Zamalek will play the winner of RS Bakan of Morocco and USM Alger of Algeria.
Yeah.
Now, that game, the first leg of that match didn't happen last week because,
Because the Algerian customs authorities seized Bekani's jerseys for the match.
the first leg was supposed to happen in Algeria.
Yeah.
Now, RS Bakan get to the airport
Yeah.
and their jerseys are seized at the airport
By the customs authorities.
of Algeria.
Yes.
Because
Well, there is a motif in the chest area of the jersey, a design sort of, that they say has political connotations, right? So because of that, they could not allow them to take the jersey and then even wear them. Now, it's about a disputed area in the Western Sahara, right? A dispute that has existed between Morocco and Algeria, I think, since 1975, when the Spanish packed bag and baggage and then left.
Yes.
Since then, I think it's the Moroccans who control about 80% of that area, and they essentially have dominance over that area. But the Algerians dispute that. It is a map of this area in dispute, right? It is a map of this area in dispute that RS Berkane have got on their jersey. And as I said, it's in the chest area of that particular jersey. Now, if you are to go strictly by CAF's regulations on political emblems and symbols, not just CAF's, by FIFA's in world football, there should be no place for that in Berkane's jersey. So it is supposed to be CAF's duty to have, when Berkane submitted the jersey, that this is our kits for the season. These are our
Which
kits
they have used all season, by the
all
way.
throughout the Confederations Cup.
And they had created no problems until when they came up against an Algerian team.
So when they submitted the jersey, CAF should have looked at that and then said, you know what, they should have flagged it when it first came to their notice to say that, you know what, per our regulations, the motif there has politically provocative connotations.
Right.
Because in the regulations for that are that there should not be any racially suggestive messages, discriminative, political message, religious, whatever it is, so long as they are provocative. FIFA and CAF will frown on that. So the expectation or the practice should have been that CAF flag that jersey and say that this does not meet the requirements, and so we cannot approve it until you take out this motif. That has not happened. CAF has allowed Berkane to play with the jersey all through the season. And now, when they got to Algeria, and by the way, as I gave the background, because of the history between the two countries, the Algerians will be the first people to spot that motif. And even when it hadn't gotten into their country, they would have seen it from afar and said, this is very
They would have seen it
to
all
us."
season.
All
and
season
been
and
waiting
say,
for them.
Yes, and we're waiting for them. So once they got to so for those who perhaps saw that the match was supposed to be played and saw the issues that happened at the airport, and then on the match day itself, they refused to walk out because Berkane went to the stadium on the match day. They went to the dressing room
With knowing full well that they were not going to play the game.
Yes. So they went to the dressing room, and when it was time for kickoff, they refused to come out. Then they lodged a complaint to the match commissioner and CAF's match coordinator.
That they've seized their jersey.
So they cannot play without the jersey.
They should have just taken off their shirts. Like old school. Like old school.
And then played with a vest. But of course, that would not have been acceptable.
Nah, it's just
by
a
CAF.
joke.
But at the end of the day, you sometimes want to question what CAF's position is on some of these matters. In
So-
the past, there's been a lot of concerns about what Moroccan teams, what Morocco as a country itself can get away with. We saw the World Cup qualifiers over the last two World Cups, how almost every country that had issues with club licensing or the licensing of their facilities and did not meet requirements were asked to go and play in Morocco.
Yeah.
There's been questions about whether or not that creates an unfair advantage, right? When these things
You
exist,
also remember the
when they
Esperance
simmer-
and Raja?
there is that. There's the AFCON situation where a national team coach admittedly probably should not have said that, but this is the impression key industry players are having on the continent.
And then, we cannot forget the issue that you just explained. It almost denied Algeria an opportunity to participate in the under-23 AFCON.
And even the Chan tournament.
No, Morocco.
It was
didn't-
Morocco.
Morocco
Yes.
didn't.
It was Morocco who did not
It
participate.
was Morocco.
And that issue was because of that diplomatic spat. Now,
Yes.
just to explain what you said,
Which is beyond CAF.
which is beyond CAF, they've closed their borders to the two countries.
Airspace, and
Yes.
borders, everything.
Morocco were asking to be allowed direct entry into Algeria.
For the Chan.
Algeria said, we know they play plus you. It's not now that we're coming to act nice. so it did not happen. So those tensions have existed.
And then
now
there were
industry players.
and then there were no sanctions whatsoever.
No, there weren't
No
any.
intervention whatsoever.
Sanction who?
It just when ordinarily in CAF competition or FIFA organized competition, when you pull out, there are sanctions. Ghana has faced that many times.
It depends on why.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
the fact that
So either the sanctions, or if you think
Because
it does
right-
not merit sanctions, then interventions to resolve.
Because
Because
Morocco were at the airport ready to fly. They told them, Morocco, they gathered their team.
Yeah.
They wanted to go into Algeria. Algeria said they were not
how
going
do
to
you,
forfeited
how-
the
how-
3 games.
yes, exactly. How do you know? But how do
because
you
they couldn't fly into the country.
how do you
so technically
explain?
that's a sanction.
Okay, now if CAF then makes like CAF does, and that was a youth competition, so CAF wouldn't spend that much. That's what
was
that
Chan.
it was. Yeah, it was Chan, I should say. That's a second tier AFCON. Second tier AFCON. Yeah, let me leave it out. Let me not use the word I was going to use.
Home-based stuff.
Yeah, home based AFCON. CAF is not going to spend the money, or they're not going to find the partners to give them what otherwise would have prevented the issue, where they could have had airline sponsors, right? So the airline sponsor then can arrange that, okay, instead of fly from Morocco to Algeria, we'll bounce off maybe Morocco to another country and then right into Algeria. But CAF didn't have that, so the national teams then had to find their way there. And if I'm a national team from Ghana and I'm going to Togo, and my arrangement is to move from Ghana to Togo, and Togo says I can't come, you can't blame me for that, because that is what logistics wise, that is how I can go to Togo. So that is why serious federations take charge of the movement of teams at some point. That's why
Here's my question though.
they
Do you
sent Air Cote d'Ivoire around to fly
no,
countries
did you
into Cote
think
d'Ivoire.
so in the current dispensation, that's why I asked you that question, because CAF has made a decision on what happened last week.
Yeah.
And the decision is that CAF has announced, CAF sat on it.
Yeah.
The disciplinary committee, competitions go. They sat on the matter from last week, and they have come to a decision. And the decision is that RS Berkane would forfeit the first leg 3-0.
No, USM Alger.
USM Alger, sorry.
So RS
Will
Berkane will
for-
have a lead of
Yes, will forfeit the first leg 3-0.
And the
I
second
suspect
leg,
they won't turn up.
and the second leg will happen in Morocco.
And the second leg will happen in Morocco. So you see the inconsistency there.
CAF is wrong.
That is the point I was driving at.
Yeah.
That the Algerian team has now been punished simply because
For CAF's incompetence.
CAF should have known and would have seen that they approved that
Yes.
jersey to begin with.
And to be fair, if CAF is a serious organization in this issue, once that draw was made, the 2 games shouldn't have happened in the 2 countries.
Simple.
And we see it in UEFA.
Yes.
When some countries are playing against Kosovo, the game won't happen there because they know the political tension. And when it comes to political tension or the political issues between countries, no football federation, you don't have a say. You can't
And
really manage it.
And my disappointment
But
with
even
that,
at the
Easily
heart-
leave the game to Egypt.
At the heart of this,
Both games will be played in
but
Egypt.
quick,
Remove.
Ficho, even at the heart of this is that Berkane shouldn't be playing with these jerseys.
Plain and simple.
That's
remember,
it.
Remember
So-
the
so if
Euros?
tomorrow-
I think it was 2020 Euros, where I think it was Ukraine's jersey that had a flag of the
Yes.
Crimea region.
Yeah.
They had them remove it
Yes.
because it's offensive to the Russians.
Yeah.
So you don't even start on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
tangent.
even
It's
before
as
the
simple as
World
that.
Cup in 2018 in Russia, there were issues around some teams' jerseys.
Bro, only 2 days ago when we were going to Qatar, some people wanted to wear one something band. FIFA said, Bogus,
Don't
if
do that
if you
here.
wear
Don't do
it, don't try. Germany came to really tell me I won't do it.
And my disappointment with CAF in particular is that they actually do have a history of finding amicable resolutions to problems like this. The 2010 World Cup playoffs. You remember Algeria and Egypt had to go and play in Sudan.
Yeah.
Because tensions between those
Between
two
the
countries were
countries at the
so
time,
high
yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
CAF made the decision that they would not, and that was when CAF had introduced the playoffs.
Playoffs, yeah.
You know,
That's
so they had to go and
Play
play
in
that
Sudan, I remember,
in
yeah.
Sudan, that particular match. So this is a very disappointing outcome,
So avoidable.
very avoidable. USM Alger have been punished
they are
for
the
something
defending
that they did not participate in,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, that's the context. They are defending
They are
champions.
defending champions.
yes, and on top of it too, they are just a football team. The customs officers make that decision,
Yeah.
but they have to pay for it, and that's why we always say football and politics, you can't separate the two,
Yeah.
and that a country's actions can affect the performance of its teams, and that's why you don't fix your stadiums and they send your teams abroad. You've participated in the downfall of your teams. Now, but that's the bottom line. So USM Alger are down 3-0 from that first leg, even though they didn't kick a ball. The return leg will be in Morocco.
Would they turn up?
That's another question.
If you don't turn up,
If you don't turn up, you're
3-3.
you see. But the point and the other point that I was making is that
It'll be
No.
six.
It'll be 6-0.
No.
Once USM Alger
No,
don't turn up.
USM Alger should also take a direct flight. Morocco will refuse them. They refuse that entry. 3-3, quick. No, we don't.
No, that's
There are
an
no
interesting.
direct
Yes,
flights to Morocco
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Morocco
yeah,
to
yeah,
yeah.
So USM Alger should just take direct flight. They will say no by all means. You say they refuse that entry into the country. 3-3.
Sounds like
They
a
will
but
play
but
the
but
playoff
but
Egypt.
but have you noticed that it didn't happen for the first leg? The first leg, the issue wasn't about the flight.
Yeah, but they chose.
but
they,
they-
chose to respect.
Yeah, but I don't think they took a direct flight to.
You think they found a way?
I think they found a way.
Interesting. Anyway, so we'll see. But what we have to deal with is the other leg, the other game.
Things in
Okay.
Africa, it's it happens every
No, you see,
But
the-
CAF
yeah.
will be your CAF.
No, Sicho, the inconsistency is that
week.
we've seen Morocco do this many times with the national teams, with their teams, but nobody has been punished there.
And I'm
It's
saying-
always there.
I said it's an African
Other
problem. It's
countries
not
who are
Africa, it's
getting
CAF.
punished. That's the point Achu was making. That the other countries, when it's anybody else, you get punished. When it is Fauzi Lekja and his people,
Oh,
Even-
I forget.
Even when we took our women to Morocco,
brother.
yes, we cheated in age, but they went to put more money. They put more money in the.
Oh yes, the dressing room. You
And
remember
our
the
girls,
incident?
yeah,
Yes.
our girls had to train outside on the floor. They didn't do anything to Morocco. You punish us for bringing grois. You punish us. You've already punished us, but also punish Morocco.
They
for
said they
putting more
put
money in the-
chemicals in the dress. You don't remember the allegation?
I remember.
They couldn't get into the dressing room
They
because
were
there was such a
changing. They were
big
changing on the
floor.
corridors.
yes,
Yeah.
pungent smell. Teenage girls. These people have no sympathy.
Went to soak more. Charlie.
But it's not more money. They don't have more money
It was,
there.
They don't have more money there. Who told they have more money there?
My
It
son.
was Kobe and more money they put over there.
Their version of Kobe Momo.
Okay,
The one when they melt pass on our own
They said it was
side.
ammonium substances.
Yeah. So from ball indications, it does look like RS can have one leg in the final, but we'll see. They will have to deal with the winner of Zamalek and Dreams FC. The first leg of that ended 0-0. The return leg is in Kumasi. Actually, I'm gonna stay with you. You've been following Dreams FC in the past week, trying to see their preparations ahead of this. What can you tell us about what to expect in this game and what can they do to make that history? Because surely they can smell it and they'll be going for it. Because at this point, if Dreams don't look, making the semi-final, it's an overachievement. But at this point, surely if they don't make the final, they will be very disappointed.
They will be. I think they've shown that they have the quality to challenge the status quo. So until this season, no Ghanaian team had won away from home in the CAF interclub competitions in 19 years, and then they went to Angola to beat Academica de Lobito by 2-1, and then only last month they again repeated it. This time around, becoming the only Ghanaian club since 2000 to win consecutive or multiple matches away from home in CAF interclub competition when they beat Stade Malien by 2-1. So in terms of having the quality, they are not the best team on the continent, but they've shown that they are a very good team. Beyond that, I have been fascinated, and there's one thing that I saw, that quite a number of the guys who started the club back in 2009 were all around when I went there last week to watch the team. And it just shows you the benefits of the stability that the club has enjoyed over time. Back then, and this is a team that was essentially formed because they had fallen out with the late Alaji Midtjylland and the guys who owned Mamobi Midtjylland at that time. Alaji Bimbo, sorry. So they formed their own club and decided that they are going to do this. And I was in Takoradi around the same time. Ketokreku and the guys who were managing 11 Wise at the time through Global Media Alliance were essentially forced out of the club by that statement by Nana Kopnanketi, I think Rex Dankwa as well. And so they gave up the ownership of the club. Everything that happened around that time essentially forced them to now focus on their own projects. Did it. And between 2009 and 2012, difficult first few years, but then their business on the transfer market, which is what a lot of people know them for, started giving meaning to what they were as a football club. So you had the John Entry transfer to Ismaili in 2012. Then you had Baba Rahman to, I think, Rutherford. And then you had the striker who used to play for Hull City, Benjamin Tete,
Yeah.
transfer. The money from these
Has he left
three-
Hull City?
No, he's left. I think he's left.
He's left Hull.
Yeah. The money from these three big deals essentially became the foundation for what was to come. So within 3 years of the John Entry transfer, they had secured multiple promotions, Division 2, Premier League, and then Division 2, Division 2, Division 1, and in 2015 they qualified for the Premier League.
Okay.
Obviously had that setback with the Kujo Mensah Daniel Goza episode and all of that. And then when they go back into the Premier League, they've never looked back. But that stability that I was talking about, Keto Kreko himself, these days not so involved. But Ibrahim Dose, who by the way, and you see the loyalty, Dose got banned for 5 years.
He got a 5-year ban.
Yeah, in that episode, he's still around. Anam is still around.
Gigi Alifo.
Gigi's is still around. The other guys, and you've seen people around the club grow. So earlier we were discussing Amini Shadow, who is showing a certain level of ambition that I find a bit admirable, because he's now moved on to go and do Kasina Nankana. There are those who say
He's not moved on.
no, I'm saying he's now
doing
looking at that
Kazna
as
on the side.
on the side.
Yes,
Yes.
but he's full on
The general manager.
Dreams FC
Yes.
general manager.
There are those who look at that and say, oh, they needed that block for political expedient or political reasons.
Which is
votes,
important.
Which is important.
Uh.
But also, it just shows you the thinking of the people behind the club and the level of ambition they have shown. Look, if you look at how they've assembled this team, who even remembers Maxwell Arthur, Victor Odro, and all of those boys, Aziz Huzaf, all of the guys they were relying on 2 or 3 years ago? They've shown that they can build a team, move the relevant parts on for good money, while still retaining that competitive nature, because in the period when they've moved all of these players, including the guy who was once upon a time the Black Meteors captain, Michael Agbekponu,
Yes.
they still have
He's
enough.
doing very well in Europe right
He's
now.
doing very well. They still have enough to, since moving these players on, win the FA Cup and then be able to compete in the CAF Confederation Cup in the manner they have done. Zito mentioned something that he says worked in their favor. He told me that their performances before every game on the continent has been very deceptive, because until they played Zamalek, Kotoko is the only team that they managed to beat before a game on the continent. Every time they either drew or they lost. So if opponents were judging or would send scouts just to come and see the last game before, you would not get a lot to learn about the team, because your scouting would have produced a report of a very underwhelming performance and not the true state of Dreams FC right before those games. I like the way he sets the team up in the first game, and I think last week I was talking about, without necessarily getting into the details, what they were doing on the training ground, and I mentioned that if it didn't work, it has to be because of application and not necessarily the quality of the concepts or principles that he introduced. And he was telling me off record that he was aware of Zamalek's strength in wide areas and the players who can occupy the half spaces and essentially find those pockets of spaces in between the centre backs and even the holding midfielders and then the defenders. So what does he do? He crowd those areas and find protection for his fullbacks.
I was very surprised that Shikabala was as ineffective as he was, had to be substituted. And Shikabala
Smart
is...
man didn't play.
They were prepared and provisioned for
Didn't
this.
play.
But,
He
but,
didn't.
but you see, to give them credit, they were prepared for what Zamalek have been doing all season, right? So maybe if the other players that Danny is mentioning are in the fray, in terms of the quality of or application or the results that they get from the very things that they were trying, it significantly improves. But what we saw from Dreams was a team that played very well, and it looks like they had prepared for every scenario that Zamalek would attempt. Final point on this for me is the influence that someone like Sani Mohammed has had on the team. We saw Solomon Agbesi.
He was phenomenal.
These
the
days he
goalkeeper.
plays with a bit more authority.
Yeah.
Now, for those who follow the league, have always believed that the guy is good, but he's always had issues about how he organizes his defense and the control he has over that team. Curiously, the man who these days has been training him is someone a lot of people thought that had issues with stage fright and panic. And you interviewed Kwesi Andechi, and he told you that in that World Cup qualifier.
It was against South Africa away
No,
from
DR
home.
Congo.
No, South Africa.
South Africa.
Yes, South Africa away from home. The
And
one
then-
that they had to bring in
Jojo.
That's South Africa away from home. We won that game by 2-0.
They said he panicked and all of that.
Yeah, the morning of the game, he said he had a running stomach,
And so he
malaria.
could not.
He's not-
Somebody has got flu today. Somebody has running stomach. You think it's impossible?
He's
But-
here. No, it wasn't. It was one of the most interesting episodes I've ever And you
Both
see,
goalkeepers.
yes,
Both
two of them,
goalkeepers, yes.
and they had to fly George Owu from Accra to
On
come
the day of the match.
Yes, he arrived on the day of the game
Yeah.
and went straight into the starting lineup
Into the game.
because everybody else said, "Charlie, Mayare,
They could not play.
Maya."
Exactly.
They ate something bad. And they were sick.
You know.
That is a
But
narrative.
but it's interesting when the managers of the team and teammates, because I spoke on tape as well about that incident. When they suspect that you were pulling out of the game because of stage
Because
fright,
you-
then
yeah.
you can tell that something is wrong. Because surely, if a teammate is sick, you will not
They will know.
insinuate that they were pulling out because
unless
of
they
stage
have
fright.
a good reason to.
And unless they had good reason to say that. And they said that on camera. It was funny, but it's true.
Yeah. So that is something that Sonny himself has had to live with. I mean, every time you mention Sonny, people say he used to panic and all of that. And I think
It's a House of Folk thing, isn't it? Why are you laughing? Because we had another House of Folk player play and was afraid of the chairs.
He was afraid of
Empty stadium.
stadium be too big.
there was even
And
another
he
goalkeeper.
was captain. Oh,
There was even another.
He was captain of Hearts of Folk.
he was captain
Yeah,
of
he
House of
wasn't
Folk.
captain.
No, he wasn't captain on the day.
No, he was captain of House of Folk.
French,
House of Folk captain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hearts of Folk captain.
Hearts didn't go and play
Okay.
that game. It
Then
wasn't
he
Hearts
went
that
to
was
play for
playing
the
that
national team in an empty stadium in South Africa. And he
said the
says
stadium
when
was-
he looked at look, and it was COVID, nobody in the stadium. But when he looked at the stadium, the chairs were frightening him.
It was too big.
Hey, Hearts of
Ah,
Folk.
He has
but
a- he has a
there's
point.
even
He has a
Richard
point.
Atta.
Huh?
Richard Atta. Samuel this time.
Yes.
Confederation Cup defeat to.
By the way, let's
Yes,
mention name.
Saura.
But
Yeah, Richard Atta.
no.
Yeah,
The captain.
Fatal.
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 It's not fatal. It's not true.
Fatal Mohammed.
Fatal
But he's the one
Mohammed.
who said it.
It's not true.
Richard Atta also said
Fatal
it.
said it too. We didn't say it.
But the really
Have you
reason why-
seen? Have you seen an empty 90,000 capacity stadium before?
Yes.
When they say, when the opposition guy they say, "Hey, it's echoing."
No, but the only reason why the only
It's
reason
not
why
scary.
Fatal got that late call up and played that fixture was because Bafo was
Philemon.
Yeah, Philemon
was also scared.
Yeah, Philemon too.
You mean the future Daniel Alves?
He was scared.
No, but that. But what?
When to
Hey,
Were we not
but
told
on
that
a
he
more
was
he couldn't
serious,
sleep for 3 days.
but on a more serious note,
because he realized that
Chicho,
Yano
Daniel,
was injured, it was only left with him. He
was the one to play.
guys, on a more serious note, some people owe this country an apology
Why?
for Philemon Bafo.
The guy was a promising right back.
They told us that we should be patient.
Yeah, football doesn't always tell the truth. 2 years ago, Badiashile was.
Hold on.
Today was.
No.
No, it's true.
You see, no.
Football doesn't
it's-
always tell the
and
truth.
we know that. The problem with that is that everybody else, except those who were calling him, could see that
The guy not
he
rich.
not rich. That's the point I'm making. It's not that everybody believed that he would do well, he didn't do well. The people, everybody said this is not right.
Video, let's stay on script. We are not talking about Philemon Bafo.
The only people who were calling him had the many reasons to give us for why they were calling him, because he was the next Daniel Alves. I mean, Shadow, I'm looking at you.
How many already call players?
No, he was
so-
fighting people over the call up.
But that's what he thought.
Allow the
Anyway,
man to concentrate.
back to Sani
on-
Mohammed.
So I think he must be feeling a sense of satisfaction that people can clearly tell what has changed about Solomon Agbesi's game, and for me, he was a star of the show on Sunday. That save in the 67th minute.
The ball just wouldn't go in.
No, you are talking
I thought
about
the
last-
90th
the last
one,
minute
yeah.
one.
But
That
I think
save
that
in
he
the-
messed up. That way,
Yeah.
he took their
That's
score like this.
that save in the 67th minute for me, it just typifies the new Solomon Agbesi, and I'm happy for him. Look, I wish them the best. I think they are well rested now. They have the quality. There was a small issue with the Abdulaziz says arrival
back to Ghana
back to Ghana. It
after the
took,
game.
somehow his name disappeared from the system.
But he's here now.
He's here now. They have everyone available. There are no injuries that we have been told. Hopefully, it stays that way so that Zito has a full complement of the squad. But Charlie Zito, flowers to him.
Brother,
He's done an amazing job.
I told you guys last week, Zito has proved me wrong.
He's good.
And it's really good. And I'm happy to admit it. He's been phenomenal. Sucho and Daniel, briefly, what must they do? What must their approach look like? Certainly, it can't be like the first leg.
It can be.
It can be.
It can be. You don't always. Dreams FC would know they are still underdogs, and in the first leg, what helped them was they understood their level and understood the stage. The stage was that they were playing against a historic club like Zamalek, who have got the pedigree and the know-how in the competition. So what they did, as Achu very much explained, he has seen them train and everything, was to also stop them from being effective in areas where they are most effective, between the lines, wide areas, getting the counter-attacking football going and what have you. So Zamalek were not as fluid on the counter or with spaces as they would have loved, and that's only because of how Dreams FC set up. Now I think it would be naive for Dreams FC to think that because they got away or they got a goalless draw, preventing Zamalek from scoring by playing that way, they've arrived, and now coming into this fixture, they are the top dogs and not the underdogs. I still think that if they can frustrate Zamalek for the long period, because everybody's expecting, the whole continent is expecting Zamalek to qualify, because 0-0 is still a very healthy result going into the second leg. One goal changes everything for the away side.
Yeah,
one goal changes
because
everything.
away goal still works in Africa.
That means that the home team needs 2 more goals to score. Even if they score 2 and you get an equalizer and make it 2-2, you are still going to go through. So everybody's expecting Zamalek is expected to win this game by by the bookies, what have you. But it will be naive for Dreams to think that having prevented Zamalek from playing the way they like to play at home or away from home, they can all of a sudden be an expansive team because they are in Ghana and we are Ghana. I think
that would be a grave mistake.
I think it doesn't work that way. So they can still do what they did away from home, except that for Zamalek themselves, they would know that they're also away from home, so they also be cautious. They won't be coming, and they are a very patient side sometimes. In the first leg, I thought at some point they had to try and force the issue because they were home.
They were at home.
Away from home, they might not. They will be waiting for the moment, and in games like this, experience matters. They'll be waiting for the moments to pounce. They'll be waiting. So it will be up for Dreams FC to understand their level, which is underdogs. Stop Zamalek from having the spaces where they can hurt them. And when they have the chance at home, which they will, they would need to be clinical. So they shouldn't be naive and think that we are Ghana, we are home. Empty stadium, free stadium.
That's we are Ghana.
Fair. No, they should be cautious in the way they approach the game. And they are capable. They are very capable.
DJ.
Yeah, Sunday is not the time to come and entertain us. We are going there to support. We already entertained that Dreams FC have reached the semi-final. So it's not about playing anything nice. It's about getting the result. Now, Zamalek have kept 6 clean sheets in 8 games throughout the competition. Mm-hmm. They are very difficult to break down because of how they play their football. They are a very good counter-attacking team. So the type of football Dreams FC played in the first leg, that is forcing Zamalek to have the ball and try and break them, is what Zamalek cannot do. So repeat the same thing here. There is no crime. There is not wrong. If you come and you play a very compact defensive game and you keep Zamalek at bay, the longer it is 0-0, the happier we will be, because that means that we are still in the competition.
Yeah.
And Dreams FC will find moments. We saw it in the first leg. Sylvester Simba had a number of opportunities, where, not chances, but scenarios opened up.
Yeah.
And I feel it also comes down to instruction. When you are playing away from home, your risk levels are lower.
Yeah.
If you are playing in Ghana and you get those scenarios, there's the freedom to go out and attack them when they come. And that's what we should be looking at capitalizing on. Finding those moments on the counter attack. We have Aziz, who is brilliant at picking passes. He has excellent technique. You have John Entry is up at the top there. His movement in the box is terrific. Ajenim Boateng. Those guys will find the spaces. So keep it very, very compact at the back. Don't be too expansive. I've heard Zito saying he's going to employ an expansive tactic. I don't believe him, because that is not him. I think he's
that's definitely not
him. I think he's trying to trick them, and hopefully it works. But track and get free and win. Simple. They can do the job.
Tracking and getting free. So all the best to Dreams FC. It's on Sunday at 4 p.m. They've opened 3 gates for the center line and the popular stand. The VIP is 20 Ghana cedis only, and that in itself is only a measure to control the numbers. It's not because they necessarily wanted to charge money. So bottom line, and the message is clear, they want as many people.
If they wanted to control numbers, they will print complimentary tickets and give it to the people to come to VIP. They will take money. Why are you?
But you don't want to restrict access to the VIP. You can manage it without restricting who gets there.
Exactly.
So if you print
ticket, then you have to share. And it means that cronies.
Only your cronies.
Cronies are
no. We don't want that. We want ordinary football fans.
And so they are selling tickets. Don't say don't because they don't
But
want
I'm
money.
saying that it's still a.
They want money,
It's
but
still
it's too cheap.
it's very cheap.
Yes, actually.
And I'm saying that the only reason they made it that cheap is because they had to. Yes, exactly.
Your control numbers with 20 Ghana.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
But bottom line is, even with the price attached to it, the bottom line is that there's a limit to the number of tickets. So you can have the 20 Ghana,
sure.
but if the tickets are sold out,
yeah.
you won't get it. So it's a number controlling measure.
Yeah.
Well done.
Bottom line is, go there Sunday, support the team, and we will all
And
be
the
back.
NSA, they are mowing the pitch at.
I know. The GFA took a measure, a decision that is geared towards ensuring maximum support for Dreams FC. They postponed 3 matches on Sunday.
Rescheduled, so they pushed
Rescheduled them to Monday. 3 Ghana Premier League games. Moved them from Sunday to Monday so that Sunday is free. And the only game in the Ghana football calendar is the Dreams FC game at 4 p.m.
It's a proper throwback to the days when you had 4 representatives, and on that weekend when they are playing on the continent, nothing happens.
You know, but what this also means is that even for those of you who play Sunday league football, reschedule your matches.
What are you going to play for?
Because on Sunday we don't want to. If we spot anybody playing football around that time,
It's a taboo.
problem.
We are all going to Kumasi
Football
on
has been
Sunday.
banned on Sunday.
Everybody has been banned from playing on Sunday. I saw news that the Nigerian Premier League had suspended their league for 1 month to enable Rivers FC clear all their outstanding games.
Matches.
And they just remind we've been there
We've
before.
been there.
You've suspended the
Like,
league for
those
1
days,
month.
It would be as though we were playing a mini gala.
It's
It would
crazy.
just be 2 teams clearing all the outstanding matches.
That's what Nigeria are
When
doing
they
right now.
finish,
Yeah.
they will continue.
Even for it's not it's not only Rivers that have so many outstanding games because of their participation in Africa. Zamalek themselves, I think they have 6 outstanding matches.
In
In
fact,
the
2 weeks
Egyptian
ago,
leagues.
It's difficult.
I checked
It's
the
hard.
Egyptian league table. Al Ahly had, I think, about 8 or so,
Yeah.
and there was I think they had some 6 matches or so, and they were still 8th
on the table.
on the table. Look, if you are big, you are big. Because
Speaking of Al
they're
Ahly,
huge.
you know they're in action today,
Yeah.
and if they win, that would mean that they've made 5 consecutive final appearances
Soon.
Thank you.
in the CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
5 consecutive.
Soon.
You know the current record, they even hold it 4 consecutive, alongside I think TP Mazembe,
Bro.
right? 4 consecutive finals. Nobody. I actually do believe that if you take out Real Madrid, the whole world, I don't think there's any club bigger than Al Ahly.
With Sunsun.
Yeah, like pedigree, success,
No,
everything.
not in
dominant,
terms of
everything.
sporting success, no.
So in
I
terms of
think
sporting
the
success, I don't
disadvantage
think
for Ali is because they are an African side without the global appeal that, say, a team like Barcelona or Manchester United will have.
When they go
Or
to, they
Bayern
don't
Munich.
sit up. So
Yeah.
Club World Cup, they don't sit up.
Because they don't have the monies that these clubs who are not winning as much
Have got.
or as many have.
But purely in terms of sporting success, no. I mean, Real Madrid is the only team you can mention and say that they have
Madrid,
achieved
they
more.
are
As
small.
for- as for Madrid, they are.
because Al Ahly, how
They are
do
not
you- how
human
do-
beings. Real Madrid. They are not human
Look
beings.
at no. Just put this in context. Look at how much we struggle to even make the group stages of the CAF competition, and this team has made the final
But
5 years in a row.
Al Ahly sacked coaches for making the Champions League semis and
Yeah.
not making it to the final.
Or for
That's
losing
the
finals.
Standards. They
That's
are
the
Ali.
standard. They are Ali.
Yeah,
They are Ali.
they are currently 11th on the table with 8 outstanding games.
When they finish, we'll pause the league. They'll clear the outstanding
So
matches.
there's
and they
Zamalek.
continue.
Zamalek have 7 outstanding. They have 6 outstanding games.
What's their position?
Just behind Al Ahly.
First and second.
Yeah, and they have the same number of points,
Yeah.
having played 2 games more than Al Ahly.
First and second.
No, they're not first and second. They are.
No, they are
No,
11th.
by the
and
time
12th.
I'm saying
by
that's
the
the
time
first
they
and
clear
second
the
we are looking
outstanding
at.
matches.
You say they are just beneath Ali, and I'm saying that
By the time they clear the outstanding matches,
first and second.
first and
Yeah.
second.
Dreams FC, they have just 3 outstanding games, so theirs is not so bad. So in that respect, we've managed our league very well.
But we helped them though. because they've had to play some midweeks and still, prepare for.
Yeah.
Whereas in Egypt and other places, you have a clear week to prepare for the assignment.
You know that for a fact.
Yeah. That's why they have those. But where do you think those games are coming from? Where do you think those Sunday games are coming from?
Dreams FC are also in action on Wednesday.
Yeah.
In the FA Cup.
Yes.
Right after this match.
And if they make it, which I think they will, to the
to
final,
back.
that will be back to back because the
they
following
are in the
weekend.
semi-finals.
So they are going to the quarters. So that would be 3 semi-finals in FA Cup in Ghana for Dreams.
So in a space of I think 3 weeks, they would have played 3 games per week consecutively,
which is not good for them.
Yeah, it's a big concern.
Yeah, we've not maybe helped them much.
All right, fair enough. We wish them all the best. Dreams FC on Sunday 4 p.m. Let's give them all the support. All right. But here's a keen reminder that the show is live on 99.7 Joy FM and on 103.9 Hits FM. Brought to you by Petrosol. Every drop matters just as every penny counts. Good quality fuel enhances your vehicle performance and reduces maintenance costs. So take no risk in times like this. All you need is value for your money. So look no further. Drive to the next Petrosol fuel station for your clean, accurate quantity fuel suitable for new technology vehicles. Be a happy customer, fill with smiles, drive more miles, and save some money. Petrosol, your clean, quality fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Also, let me tell you about mobile, okay? The Infansipim Old Boys Association is set to hold the induction service for the newly elected National Executive Committee members led by the Ebisuapenyi-elect Moses Kwesi Bading Jr. It's on Sunday, 28th April 2024. That is this coming Sunday at the Calvary Methodist Church in Adabraka. It's at 3 p.m. So join us for a day filled with excitement, camaraderie, and networking as we welcome the new National Executive Committee. If you want further information on this, you can call the MOBA Secretariat on 050-318-6258 or 0249 702 696. And you can call them for more information. All right. If you want more information on that, you can call them. Also, let me tell you about the Joy News Impact Makers Awards. It's that time of the year again. Join us here at Joy News with support from the McDown Foundation. We're bringing you the Joy News Impact Makers Awards 2024. It's our quest to spotlight and honor those steadfast warriors who are remolding the destiny of our communities and our nation. The Joy News Impact Makers Awards is celebrating ordinary people making extraordinary impact. It's, of course, supported by DBS Industries Limited, which truly are your roof experts, Gold Key Properties, building prestige since 1997, and First National Bank. How can we help you? And in association with the McDown Foundation, building a better community. Joy News, independent, fearless, credible.
You worked hard for your money, and DSTV gives you a whole lot more for a lot less than you think. Instead of one takeout dinner, how about treating the family to a whole month of the best entertainment with DSTV? From thrilling sports, blockbusters, captivating series, to entertaining kid shows, we have it all.
Totally awesome.
And with DSTV Stream, you can watch on the go.
I'm here.
Plus, you can choose a package to suit your pocket. There's a whole lot more to enjoy for a lot less than you think with DSTV.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Okay, we're back again. This is 99.7 Joy FM. The show is Game Plan. We're on from now till 3 p.m. It's also live on Hits 103.9 FM, brought to you by DSTV Petrosol. Keep your messages coming. Let me see. Lots of you have sent in messages already, I believe. Where's Abe Kusan Trophy? I need my messages, please. Okay. And Jojo. There you go. The number is 055-111-1997. 055-111-1997. Also, use the hashtag Game Plan on Twitter, and I will share them with the rest of our listeners and viewers from across the globe. Bedroom Pep Guardiola from Ontario, Canada. Oh yes, he has sent in his message already, and this is what we are talking about, right? The people are always looking for ways to find different opportunities. A few days ago or a few months ago, he was sending us this message from La Paz. Now he's sending us the message from Ontario, Canada.
You are reporting him to his people every week. You are.
The guy is
every week. He's having his location.
Yes. He says, good morning from Ontario, Canada. Are we in morning here in Accra?
Okay, mom.
Yeah, thank you. Klopp's reign at Liverpool could have ended with 4 successive trophyless seasons if Chelsea didn't bottle and get robbed of winning 3 domestic cup finals. 1 league title in 7 years. Everyone calls Klopp one of the best. If you line his time at Liverpool against Chelsea with the many managers for the same period, Chelsea has won more trophies plus a Europa League title. In fact, the only title Chelsea didn't win in the period Klopp was there is the EFL Cup. He does make a good point, doesn't he? That Chelsea changed lots of managers Chelsea without the stability in the same period that Klopp has been there has won more trophies than Klopp with all the stability. So that's his point.
It's a good point.
It is a good point. It's a good point. Klopp came in October 2014, I believe.
But who said there was instability at Chelsea?
They were changing managers.
Chelsea have been changing managers since Abramovich came in. That's the model. Doesn't mean instability.
It does mean instability.
It doesn't mean instability.
We can agree to disagree.
It doesn't mean instability.
We can agree to disagree.
It is not true.
Even though Chelsea kept changing managers and kept getting success as a result of that, there was always an inkling, and there had always been that feeling that Chelsea needed a bit of stability. And Chelsea's hiring record tells you that they always were in need of a manager that could give them that kind of stability. They just never had it because Abramovich was very impatient and he didn't like it. It's true. And he just didn't have the patience for mediocrity.
The fact that you are changing managers doesn't mean there's instability. Chelsea had a standard. There's a standard. You come in, you win league. The next season you don't live up to the standard, you go. The squad was stable.
Hey, no. Hold on.
The squad was stable.
When they say
you come in, you win. If you don't win, you go. It doesn't mean instability.
Nobody's referring to players. They are referring to the managerial situation. That's what it means.
The club was not unstable.
That is what it means.
The club was unstable. So then Real Madrid too, they've been unstable. All this while, Real Madrid sacked Pellegrini, they brought Mourinho, they sacked him, they brought Ancelotti, he left, they brought Benitez, they brought Zidane. Does that mean they were unstable?
Have you looked at the average length of the managers there compared to Chelsea? Even at Real Madrid, despite the constant changes,
they were still winning.
Yes, but also their managers lasted more than Chelsea's managers on average.
That's the model.
Whose model?
Abramovich's model was you come, you win, you don't win, you go. Simple. They were winning trophy after trophy.
You see, you are
Abramovich in his whole time at Chelsea never gave any indication that he was going to hire a manager for long term. You come in, you do the job, you go. Simple.
That's not it. He hired managers. Hold on.
I think when AVB was coming,
he hired managers. Look, don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Abramovich hired managers with the expectation that they would consistently win.
Yeah.
And remain there.
Yeah.
They just didn't win, and he fired them. It doesn't mean that he didn't want them to be there and continuously winning. Yes, that's what he wanted.
Mourinho came first 2 seasons, he won.
Yes, and that's why he stayed.
Third season, he won the FA Cup. His third season.
Yes.
Drogba,
2007. Yes.
Following season.
Yes.
We didn't even reach December.
Because Chelsea were poor.
We didn't even reach December.
Yes, they were poor.
Bah.
I have a question for you.
Exactly.
Do you think no. DK, don't get too confused. Don't get too confused. Do you think that
if a manager has shown you that for 3 years he's a winner and he's struggling in his first 2 months of the season?
Yes.
If you were really going for long term, wouldn't you have given him time?
That's what I'm.
Time no day. He'll sack you and somebody else will come and win. That's the
But
model.
you are making this. You're making the same point I am making. That Abramovich is very impatient for managers who don't win. But he wanted the consistency.
Yes,
Mourinho won. Hold on.
Don't use the word instability for Chelsea.
I will use
It's
it.
not true.
I will use it.
It's not true.
It is an adjective.
That's
I will
not-
use it.
That's not a club that is.
There was managerial instability. We can disagree on it. The point is that when Mourinho first came and won those first 3 years, Abramovich left him, and he would have left him in that fourth season if he showed that he was going to win. He didn't win. He sacked him. It doesn't mean that he didn't want the continuity. He wanted it. He just didn't have the patience to accept mediocrity like other.
He would have been patient.
wouldn't be.
Anybody
He wouldn't
who wants
be.
continuity is
He
patient.
wouldn't. No.
Anybody who wants continuity is patient. 2 months in the fourth season, then you sack the person.
Yes,
You tell him,
yes.
you see, he's a winner.
Yes.
That was the model.
Continuity.
You come, you win,
no,
you go.
hold on. Winning. Continuity with winning, not
You let's
continuity
agree to disagree, because-
with 3 trophies in 9 years. That's not what That's what you call the standards. Okay, that he just had bigger expectations for his team. It doesn't mean that he didn't want a bit of stability. If Mourinho continuously won every season after those first 3 seasons, he would have still been Chelsea manager by now.
When he bought
I
the
guarantee
team, he
you.
pumped money inside. Ranieri took him to a Champions League semi-final. He finished second in the. He sacked him. He brought Mourinho.
Yes.
He sacked him.
Yes.
And he brought Mourinho.
Yes.
Mourinho won.
Yes.
When Mourinho started he
Yes.
sacked him.
Yes.
That the club wasn't unstable.
Question. If Mourinho continuously won, would he have sacked him? No. So he wanted that. He just didn't get it. Anyway. All right, bottom line there. We can disagree on that.
You are trying to force the team and make it look like
No,
Chelsea
no.
and Liverpool and the same. Then Apu. It's okay, safe.
Apu what? Say it. Use words. Apu what? Apu what?
That has been Chelsea's standard. That's been Chelsea's model since Abramovich.
Yes.
So you can't look at one person who has stayed 4 years and say, even we that were changing manager, we are unstable. You are coming to look at Chelsea were in some bad state during. Chelsea were not. Chelsea have been competitive until Boli took over. That's the point. Chelsea have always been competitive. Chelsea go into every season expecting to win a trophy until Boli took over.
That is true.
Thank you. So that's not a club that is unstable.
It's a club that is unstable when it comes to managers. That is true. It's a fact.
You are playing with words.
I'm not playing with words.
The meaning is not the
It
same.
is a
You are
fact.
playing with words.
In those 9 years that club had been there, Chelsea have gone through I think 6 different managers.
Which
How
is
can you
normal.
call that? How
Which
can
is-
you call
which is
that
normal.
stability?
Which is normal.
I'm not saying it's not normal, but the adjective to
There's-
describe it
there's
is
sta-
apt.
The stability is in the trophies.
The point is that the instability in the managerial dugout is there. The
No,
evidence
but wait.
is clear.
Who told you that? You see, this is the thing I don't like about. Who told you that one manager staying long is what is supposed to be?
Nobody said that's what it is supposed to be. They are comparing
so then
scenarios.
don't use the word instability in that negative connotation, like you people are sacking managers, so there's something wrong. That's the model. Some people are just like that. Some clubs are just run like that. Real Madrid, they don't come and carry one manager for 10 years. They don't do that thing. And Ferguson and Wenger, they've gone. The rest, if you can't, you don't win. We'll sack
No,
you.
that's not true.
We'll
That's not
sack
true.
you.
Liverpool didn't sack Klopp.
Liverpool didn't sack Klopp.
But do
because
you know how
Klopp
many
has
years
been
he didn't win?
successful.
Hold on. Do you know how many years
He
he
has
didn't
been-
win?
How many years didn't he win?
You know how many years he didn't win?
How many trophies has he won?
He's won 2 EFL.
How many
Hold on.
who counts it?
I'm counting.
Okay, count it
2
quick.
EFL, 1 Champions League,
Uh-huh.
1 Premier League,
Uh-huh.
1 FA Cup,
Uh-huh.
5 then 1 Super Cup. So 6 trophies,
Club World Cup 7.
7.
English
Okay.
Super Cup 3.
Which
Oh,
English
we should add those
What
ones.
is the English Super Cup?
Community
There's
Shield.
nothing like English Super Cup.
I mean,
When we're adding Pep's trophies, when we're adding Mourinho's trophies,
There's nothing like English Super
oh,
Cup.
relax.
What are you saying?
We add,
Danny King.
we add the Italian Super Cup. We add
Danny K will not add anything. Will not add anything. Will not add anything. Will not add anything. It's okay. It's okay. Will not add anything. What is let me read the rest of the messages. Okay. Will not add anything. Danny, will you keep quiet there? Let me read the rest of my messages. Okay. Your microphone is off. Your microphone is off. Let me read the rest of the messages and then get back to you here. Okay.
You never walk alone.
My friend, behave. Okay, behave over there. Behave over there. All right. Nitojo from Temanuta says CAF needs to be financially sound to be that powerful. I wish Dreams FC all the best. Go Dreams, go Ghana. Now this one says, Fen, a goalless draw away from home is quite dangerous in the knockout stages. That is also a message coming in. You don't add your name and location. Always do well to do so. This one says, Fen to Habi, hi to my friend. Glory, Manu. This is a message from Sly. Who's your friend? He said, hi. High five, my friend. Okay. You don't tell us your friend. Okay, good. Now, this message says, this is from Interesting Man inside Dodowa. He says, the definition of stability means fixed, steadfast, not changing or fluctuating. Please let him understand that Chelsea wasn't stable. Chelsea was stable. All right, cool. Let me go through more messages. All right, this one says, boy, now the guy in Canada, he be a gender boy. Let the show continue. Then he can never go greed. It's true. He's very stubborn. Don't mind him. But we party among Chemano. Desmond Fishy says, this is Desmond Wolanyo from Lakeside Estate. Rival fans can laugh and take the piss out of the amount that Jurgen Klopp has won during his time at Liverpool. But for me and many other supporters, he's given us some of the best years of our lives, and I will not swap it for anything else. All right. Interesting. Ima from Pong, he says, good afternoon, guys. Most of the trophies Klopp won in England were against Chelsea. In fact, if you're talking about domestic cups, every single one of them came against Chelsea. One FA Cup, two EFL Cups. Dale in Madrid says, hello, Fen. Top show by all standards. The performance of Dream shows that Ghanaian teams can live up to expectations with just some level of seriousness. Their performance should serve as motivation to other teams. As for my house and Kotoko, they've turned into comedy clubs. For Real Madrid, we are winning the league today. And then we'll add the UCL to it. Please, where's Gary Al Smith? I miss him. Gary is listening. Gary, Dale says he misses you. Okay. All right. Let me go to X as well. Twitter. Some of you have been sending us messages there. Charlie, by the way, guys, I've seen on Twitter that Mr. Beast is in Ghana. The guy sharing money on Twitter. No? He should come and share money.
The fact that it's on Twitter is annoying me.
Oh, why? You wanted to secretly get money?
No. Mr. Beast does his thing low key. So if he knows that everybody knows he's in town, he approaches you, then you will not give the money. You go and give the thing in Nigeria.
You have a point. Sicho, do you know Mr. Beast?
No.
He doesn't know him. Why do you do it like him?
The guy the way Agbada they share.
Oh, you come, Charlie. This guy over here.
The girls play the same money too.
No. You can't tell you so he need some, let's say $5, 5 Ghana. 5 Ghana, I won't buy some chichinga for the year. They will tell, okay, this is my last 5 Ghana.
Yeah,
say, you were kind to me, they go dash it $1,000. Quick.
Yeah.
He share money for Twitter sometimes. Wait some Ghanaian girl win some. Where the girl go put in the account into private. Because his friends were DMing, he had too much, so go put the thing into private.
Wrong.
Frank says, I'm loving the podcast vibes on Game Plan today, as the boys currently go through the day's issues. Now, we'll come to this discussion later on why Klopp has won only one title in 8 years. That one, COVID period. That's from Edward Addo. Interesting. Chief Zedu says the top teams in Europe change coaches to suit the business style. That is their model. The arrival of new coaches has not changed the business model. The coaching changes in Chelsea cannot be termed instability because the business kept running with the preferred model. Let me keep quiet. You say to Adamu, I'll deal with you.
No, but I don't understand what you're saying.
I'll deal with you. No, you see, when they say, you people, you are confusing two things.
No, if you are talking English, it is
no. You see, you are confusing two things, okay? The fact that the club is changing managers means that the managerial position at the club was unstable. It doesn't mean the club itself is unstable.
Exactly.
So don't confuse the two things.
That's my. We are talking about the club. We are talking about.
Who is talking about the club? We're talking about coaches.
If you say the Chelsea's managerial whatever was unstable and Liverpool have had one manager, it's a non-starter.
It's not because
that's not a football.
It's not because
Chelsea the club was
it's
unstable.
not because ordinarily when clubs hire managers, ordinarily in many situations, especially even in the Premier League, there is always that certain affinity towards giving them a certain grace period.
It's not true.
Hold on, no. I said affinity. I didn't say it's the reality.
So you said
in
when
practice.
clubs, we are talking about top clubs here.
Yes.
Top clubs who are stable.
Yes.
You understand?
Okay.
Top clubs who are stable.
Is Barcelona
when
stable?
they bring in a manager.
Is Barcelona stable?
Right now.
Is Man U stable?
Man U are not stable. Man U are not stable.
Why are they stable? They've had the same
Man U
owners
are
the
not
whole
stable.
period. No. They've had the same.
No.
What's not stable as United?
Why are they not stable?
Competitively, Man U are not stable.
They are stable.
What do you mean they are not
They've not been
competitively stable?
competitive for the last 4 years. That's stability.
No.
No, they are stable.
They are very stable.
Comfortably stable.
They are very stable.
Chelsea in the last
How can
2
you
seasons
say-
have been very stable because they've not competed. Man U have not been competitive in the last 4 years. That is serious stability.
How can you even say that Man U haven't been stable? They have been stable, say. They have been stable.
No, that is
No.
What are you talking about?
No.
What are you
Why
talking
did you
about?
pass before you come here?
No. Stability.
No. Man U are stable in not being competitive.
Yes.
That is also a level. No, we are talking about competitive stability.
No, you didn't mention that.
You
That's
didn't
why
say
I
that.
said- I
You
said
keep
top
adding
clubs.
adjectives.
I said top clubs.
Let me talk.
See, let's stop speaking English.
Let me sit down.
Let's talk
So,
football. Let's talk
okay, all right, cool. The Chelsea scenario.
Are we discussing Chelsea?
No. The Chelsea scenario that you claim was stable,
Yeah.
that you now claim United unstable. What is the difference? Why are United now not stable, and why were Chelsea stable then, even though they were changing managers?
Let's start from the beginning.
Yes. What are the parameters? Same owner, same players. You mentioned same players too.
Same owner,
Same players.
Results over a consistent period of time.
Yes.
So calm down. So if Mourinho does 3 seasons where he's won trophies in all,
Yes.
double in his first, he wins the Premier League the second season, third season he wins FA Cup. First 2 months into the third season, he's not doing well. They sack him. At that point, that 2 months is not enough consistency to say the club is unstable. So then you can attribute it to the manager underperforming. They sack him, they bring somebody else. What happens? Chelsea goes all the way to the Champions League final, competes for Champions League, competes for the Premier League, loses it on the last day. That is back. Chelsea showing that the club wasn't unstable. It was the manager who was messing up.
So how's that different from United?
United have consistently not been competitive.
That is stability.
But that's a
That is
stability.
stability in a non-competitive state.
But
It's
also,
still stability.
but hold on. So you're saying that?
See, and that's why I said let's stop speaking English.
No, it's not English. You see, you don't get it.
Stability is
Then per your logic, Liverpool also stable before Klopp came. They stable in not winning anything.
Yes.
So then why are we arguing? Then let's close the show.
Thank you for the question.
Oh God.
No.
You see.
No, let me chip this one.
Daniel is wriggling his way around
I'm not wriggling,
because
you are- no, you
hold
see-
on. You see, you don't let me talk. Every time I open my mouth, you come in and come and interject.
Because
You
the
won't
two
let-
of you, nobody get case. Look, you cannot use the high managerial turnover, which is the norm in Europe, to say that it is a sign of instability.
Thank you. That's my point.
So how do you then go and say that United were unstable? Because they also kept changing money. But you come to Chelsea, you say Chelsea they were stable.
You see, when Fergie started winning the league, up until the time he retired, Man United were incredibly stable because they would actually compete. Minimum finish third. I don't think he finished fourth even once since the first time he won the league. Lowest was third, and that was like once. Every time it's first and second. Since Pep Guardiola started winning the Premier League, forget his first season, City have been incredibly stable. It's first, second, like it's everyday first, second, like twice. That stability is like you're talking about big clubs. That is stability. Even when Chelsea were winning trophies, Chelsea were not necessarily stable because they would have terrible seasons in the league, find a magical moment of winning a cup or the Champions League. That wasn't necessarily stability.
How many times?
A lot of times.
No, not a lot.
Oh,
It's a lot of
It wasn't a lot.
let you see.
We are talking about, you see, calm down. We are talking about Abramovich's period, right?
yes.
That's what we are talking
Even
about.
when Tuchel won the
So at least
Champions
like
League,
a 19,
Chelsea were bad
like
in
a
the league.
19-year period.
Yes.
A 19-year, it wasn't a lot of times.
Okay.
It will reach 5 seasons where Chelsea were not competing in top 4.
But how many?
No, it's
how many?
only
league-
5.
No,
It's 19
Don't
years.
mention
No,
top 4.
now
Don't
you
bring
go and
that
say
cup.
top 4. That's the
Don't bring
point.
that cup.
Is
Chelsea
that the
can
problem?
finish
You're
fourth.
lowering the
Chelsea
standard.
can finish fourth
Sure,
and
already
still have a substandard season. Finishing.
Let's
Between the top four is not-
But you see,
let's get back.
the
on
whole
track.
United and Pep Guardiola thing. Those were outliers.
They are not outliers.
How they
They are not-
outliers?
Chelsea spent
Outliers
so much to be
because-
able to be. Wait, Chelsea spent so much money to be able to have maintained that. The reason why City brought in Pep
You're
wasn't because the
you're
other
not
managers were not
understanding me.
winning.
Sishu, you're not understanding me. I'm saying that if you take away Fergie's United and Pep's City, every other club in the Premier League, say maybe by Arsenal, essentially went through the same cycle of experienced high turnover in terms of managers.
And they went through the same cycle of instability.
That's the point. You see, no,
It's
the-
not-
the
How
reason-
do
yes.
you want to define the instability?
I don't even get it,
See,
because-
Chelsea, what Abramovich was doing, Chelsea won a lot of things by not being the best not being the best teams.
Sishu,
It's not like Man United and City. When
here's
City
the-
wins,
Sishu,
they've
Sishu.
balled everybody. When Man U wins, they've balled everybody. When Chelsea were winning at some point with Soon. Nobody
Without
was-
necessarily-
see, a certain presence and aura. Not just many a dame. I mean, Kachi.
You see, and also, and even no, Sicho, even let me help you. The reason I don't even necessarily agree with Daniel when he tries to, for example, say that the United situation, could be deemed unstable, but Chelsea had to be deemed stable. I don't get it. It's not consistent because during the same period we are talking about, especially the period when Ferguson left, that period from 2013 onwards, Chelsea were changing managers. They were spending money.
Yeah.
United were changing managers. They were spending money. Probably more money than Chelsea.
And
Chelsea were winning. Hold on.
Calm down.
You don't let me finish.
No,
let me finish that, and you can come
kill
in.
the point. You are talking
No,
about.
hold on, let
we are
me
talking
finish
about
that
Abramovich. Abramovich's time, Ranieri second.
Daniki, I put off your microphone. Achu,
This is the first time they've not competed for me.
Daniki, your microphone is awful.
Second time. Fourth, no, 10.
Okay.
4 years.
All right, I'll read some more messages. Okay, I'll read some more messages. Good afternoon, guys. Why are you dodging the high five greetings, Fentu? The high five greetings is for you. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 5. All right, thank you very much. I needed that reminder. Good afternoon, boss. Danike shocked me, pa. Danike should be the PRO for the GFE. Hey, GFE, pa. Where is that from? Okay, good afternoon, boss. This afternoon, Danike shocked me. He should be PRO for GFE. Papa answer from Latte, Ekapim. Danike hasn't even said anything about GFE, so I'm not sure where that is coming from. Okay. Philip in Kokrobite says he wants to hear about the club thing. Okay, we'll get into that very shortly. And then this message says Chelsea chopped 5 goals last week. So high five. 2 different people sending me exactly the same message. Interesting. We have about 17 minutes to unravel the club debate.
Done your Chelsea business.
Yes, because of Daniki, he won't let anybody
It's not
talk.
because of Daniki.
So when you
I
talk,
won't let you people say something that.
He excites.
all right,
Yes.
Sichu,
You hear Chelsea, no, then you right.
see, no.
Then you do it.
You can't tell me that. No. But you see, what I don't agree with is that you can't tell me that Chelsea were stable because they were winning.
What's your question?
Because they were winning
What's your
while
question?
changing
What's your
managers.
question, Boga?
And then
What's your
for United, who were changing managers and
Tahir.
not winning there, they were unstable. No.
Tahi.
Tahir.
Then they were also stable.
Tahir. Let's talk.
You hear Chelsea, no?
All right, let's talk about club.
Yes,
let's
club.
talk.
That period.
Yeah,
Okay,
9 years.
they've capitulated in the last few weeks.
You spoke more than anybody here. Why do you want
Don't mind
It's
him,
not
Danny Gay.
It's not true. No, I not talk.
So make you
I've
open the phone line. Make you ask them.
No, I've said the record straight. I've not talked.
Okay, you know what? Jojo,
That they make the start.
we are opening the phone lines.
Make the case start.
No.
Nobody go talk.
We
If
are-
that case start, nobody go talk.
We are
We're wasting time. Let Daniel start.
You guys are done. Thank you very much. I'm asking the listeners, Jurgen Klopp's era at Liverpool, do you deem it a success or a failure? What's your definition of success? The phone lines are active. 030-221-6541. 030-221-6541 and 055-1111-997. 055-1111-997. Okay. Two phone numbers, 030-221-6541 and 055-1111-997. Game Plan on 99.7 Joe FM is brought to you by Petrosol as well as DSTV. We're running from now, of course, till 3 p.m. So we have about 15 minutes. All right. Let's go to Sani. All right. Sani is the first to join us. Sani,
Yes, boss.
where are you calling us from?
Please, I'm calling from Kofrodia.
All right, Sani, go ahead.
Pardon? Really well. If you look at the standard in which Liverpool was, they went shopless for 30 years. I think EPL, they never won it. So Klopp came to break those jinx, and I think he wasn't a failure. He did his bit, though. He was unfortunate that he met Pep Guardiola when Pep was in his prime. So I think he did his bit.
But wasn't Klopp also in his prime? Say he was also in his prime, or?
Of course. It's
So why?
tournament.
So are you admitting then that Pep in his prime and Klopp in his prime, Pep is better? Finish.
Of course.
Okay, then thank you very much, Sani. Sani, let's go to Edo Jinam in Ashaman. How are you?
I'm fine.
Please go ahead.
All right, so I'm not going to say Klopp's time at Liverpool has been a failure. I think it was okay, especially when you consider almighty Pep Guardiola in the league, and also the financial status of the club that he was employed to handle. I think.
What is the situation with the financial level of Liverpool? They had money to spend. Before he won the league, he spent the most amount of money on a defender. Even Pep Guardiola had not spent 75 million on a defender before. Klopp did it. He found the money, he bought him, and he won the league because of that.
Okay, I think there is an argument there.
There is. Thank you very much.
There is.
Let's go to Isaac. Isaac is in Legon. Isaac.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, how are you, my guy?
Very well, very well.
Thank God. In fact, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I joined Liverpool because of Klopp and Sadio Mane. And I can say that Jurgen Klopp have made Liverpool very fearsome. And we have won some trophies that, people, other managers have tried for years, and we were not winning. And now Liverpool is in the, at least when you are talking of the Premier League teams, the best two you mention Man City, you mention Liverpool.
And that is Klopp's doing.
I think
very well.
It's a success.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Isaac. All right. Let's go to Francis in Osu. Francis. Hello, Francis.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Francis.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Greetings to you guys. About Spurs, we don't celebrate runners up, we only celebrate the winners. So he has done well. But about this, I think it's okay in it's not a failure. I think he has done his best. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Francis in Osu. We will go to Wisdom in Medina. Wisdom.
To say that Liverpool, the coach hasn't done bad, but senior man is always a senior man. Pep Guardiola. Yeah, so Pep Guardiola didn't make Klopp leave up to expectation. So the senior man outclassed him. That's what I have to say.
All right, thank you very much, Wisdom. Josiah in Adabraka. Josiah, you'll be our last caller, and then I'll go to my panelists here. Give everybody 3 minutes to attack this particular topic.
Okay, you see, I'm a passionate fan of Liverpool. So judging a club era at Liverpool, I don't think it's a failure, and it will never be a failure. The speculators might say it's a failure, but what about the people there, the people living in the Merseyside? I think now they worship Klopp. Klopp has done a lot at Liverpool. Although he has not been so good in terms of the Premier League, but trust me, Klopp has kept Liverpool like in a position. Since Klopp came to Liverpool, we've always been the second in the league. He has always been after Pep Guardiola, and when he won the Premier League, I think he had more points than Pep Guardiola has ever won the title against him. Pep Guardiola has always won the title against him with maybe 2. It has never been more than 10 points. But when he did that against Guardiola, he had more than almost 20 points ahead of Guardiola. So I think his era at Liverpool is a successful one. It's a successful one. Then you go down the memory line. I mean,
fair enough, Josiah. Yeah, Josiah is talking about point gap. He says the season that Liverpool won the league, the gap he gave Pep Guardiola was more than any gap Pep had ever given him. What Josiah is forgetting is that Liverpool had only finished second behind Man City twice. All the other seasons, they were not even close. So that in itself can't be deemed to be... It wasn't even a competition between him and Klopp, to be fair. Listen, the guys are here. Danny K, you have 2 minutes, 30 seconds. No. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Attack the issue. Jurgen Klopp's tenure at Liverpool. Your take.
Complete success. Complete success. In the 6 years before Klopp came to Liverpool, they had won 1 trophy. That was the EFL Cup. Liverpool's positions in the Premier League were far off. They were not even qualified. They were struggling so much to qualify for Champions League. They were all over the place, and Klopp came. Klopp had a huge task, and Klopp's task was to return Liverpool to the top. And to the top doesn't necessarily mean win the Premier League every season, but Liverpool had to be in the conversation for a Premier League title going into every single season. And has he done it for me? Yes, he has. You are looking at Liverpool finishing 7th, 6th, 8th, 7th, 2nd under Brendan Rodgers, back to 6th. Then he was sacked. Klopp came half a season, they finished 8th. Next season, he returned them to the Champions League. They finished 4th. Next season, they finished 4th again. They reached the final of the Champions League. The following season, they finished 2nd, a point behind Man City, won the Champions League. Then they won the Premier League. Then they finished 3rd in the Premier League. 2nd again, a point behind Man City. 5th, the only anomaly, and it looks like they are going to finish 3rd again. Klopp has won 7 major trophies for Liverpool in 8.5 years. If you add the what I like to call English Super Cup, that will make it what? 9. And if you are giving this record, you find 8 trophies in 8.5 years for a Liverpool team that had won 1 in 6 years under, after Benitez. In fact, the last few years of Benitez till Klopp came, 1 in 6 and 8 in 8.5 years. You can't look at this and tell me it is not a success. If you are applying context to it, and you are going back and you are looking at the state of Liverpool as at the time Klopp was coming in, you can't look at these trophies and say, okay, fine, because he lost, 7 out of 8 Premier League trophies to Pep, or whatever the number may be, it's a failure. No, you are looking at a man who had to come and pick a club from Temor, turn it around and make it a championship worthy team, and he has done that. Because today, if we sit here and we are criticizing Liverpool for not winning a league title, it is because of Klopp. Because Klopp has given us that effrontery to be able to sit here and say Liverpool are supposed to win a title. That's what he has done. He has delivered this team back to the top, and that next season going in, whoever is coming to take over will be expected to compete, because Klopp 8 years ago promised us that when he's leaving he will do it, and he has done it. So Klopp has been a total
fair
success.
Enough. Your time is up. Thank you. Sichofe.
Thank you very much for the time.
Your time starts now.
Fantastic. So the Klopp era, I want to divide it into 2. The first part is massive success, and the second part is woefully underwhelming. Now, the first part is, and I'll take it from where Danny ended, that when Klopp came into Liverpool, he had so much to do. He had to build a group. He had to bond with the fans. He had to get in place and develop the players. And to be fair to Klopp, almost every player who came to Liverpool didn't come as a world-class footballer. He had to turn Salah into world-class, Mane into world-class, Firmino into world-class, Fabinho, Henderson, Van Dijk, Alisson, Robertson, Trent, all of them turning these monsters, them into the mentality monsters. Then, so in the first part, when he had to build a squad, turn them into mentality monsters and into a good team, he achieved success with the squad building. What he then achieved with the squad was disappointing. Because for me, the Liverpool team that Jurgen Klopp built deserves more than just one Premier League title. And it's not as if he didn't have the opportunity to win the titles. He has, including this season, bottled 3 championships in the Premier League. Danny mentioned that he finished with a point behind City. In the first time that he finished second in the Premier League, he actually he was leading the league and bottled it for City to win. Then he won it. The other time he came second in the Premier League, he was leading the league, bottled it for City to win. This season, it's not Klopp's fault. It's not Pep's fault that he couldn't beat Everton. It's not Pep's fault that Klopp couldn't beat Man United. It's not his fault that Klopp couldn't beat Crystal Palace at Anfield. Now, when you look at the team that Klopp had built,
got kicked out by Atalanta,
or get kicked out by Atalanta in the Europa League, these are bottling. And you see, Klopp could have won more cups in England, right? Klopp could have won more cups in England, but for his own decision to downplay the importance of these cups, he will downtalk it, he will play young players, he won't take it serious, and he will lose it. So in two folds, the building of the team and the process of building the world-class team, massive success, great job. But what he achieved with the team that he had built, that was good enough to win so much, he underwhelmed. But understand, to wrap it up, for Liverpool fans, because of what Danny has said, where Liverpool came from and where Klopp has brought them, for them emotionally, the connection with Klopp and the club is huge. No Liverpool fan will underestimate what Klopp has done because it's an emotional connection. Those of us on the fence, when you look into the Liverpool club from the top, you look at the brilliant team that should have won way more than they won, and they have underachieved, having built what I call a machine. They played some of the best football during his time, but in the end, he won very late. Are you the timekeeper?
Don't
the guy has spoken for
Allow the man.
Thank you very much.
He's bullied Fenton too.
I was set up to feel from
your time starts now. Your verdict on Klopp's time at Liverpool.
I think he didn't win enough. If you look at the nominal terms that, he had 7 odd titles in 8 years and so a title every other year, it looks good. But look beyond the nice football that they were playing, because the nice football, Liverpool had seen it on before. In fact, 2 years before that, they were actually neck and neck for City for the Premier League title until they collapsed in April. They made the Champions League, played some of the best football in that era under Brendan Rodgers. So Liverpool didn't just want someone who could play pretty. They needed someone who could play pretty, add value to the players, and then sustain success in terms of silverware. Right? And for the first part, like Sicho said, he managed to do that. So you could see value addition to the players. I mean, within a year of touching Mohamed Salah, he was Ballon d'Or caliber. Yeah. Within a year of signing Alisson Becker, he was Ballon d'Or caliber. Even though there is the component of
second Ballon d'Or
and all of that. So you had Sadio Mane as well, also going close. So that part, he checked the box. But where I feel he should have won more is how they lost some of the trophies that they failed to. Sicho has explained the Premier League and how he's bottled it on 3 occasions. I'll take you to the other cup competitions and where Klopp himself made a mistake. In the early stages, he started talking down the FA Cup and then the League Cups. And I'll show you the teams that eliminated Liverpool. After that, tell me if, with all of this, still, that manager scores 4 marks to you. In 2017, they were eliminated at home by West Brom by 2-1. The following season, they lost by 2-1 to Wolves. They drew 2-2 with Shrewsbury the year after that in the FA Cup, and then Chelsea eliminated them. Then they lost to Man United in the 4th round. Then they won it in 2022 by beating United and Chelsea. Last season, they lost to Brighton. So in Klopp's 9 years in the FA Cup, there is only 1 season where he met top-level Premier League sides and prevailed. And that was the year they won it, in 2022. So in the FA Cup, you can tell there's a history of losing to very mediocre teams. West Brom, Wolverhampton Wanderers, even getting a draw with Shrewsbury. If we condemn Man United because they drew 3-0 with Coventry, it should put matters into context how we should view the top teams when they play these lower tier sides in the cup competitions. In the Carabao Cup as well, they lost the semi-final to Southampton in the first year. Third round lost to Leicester, lost to Chelsea the year after that. 5-0 to Aston Villa 2020, got eliminated by Arsenal the year after that, got beat, and then they beat Chelsea in 2022 to win it. Last season they lost to City 3-2 in the fourth round.
Fair enough.
It's not good enough.
Fair enough. In fact, Sakatu says in those seasons he got 8 trophies from a possible 63. And for him, that is poor. All right, that's our show for today here on 99.7 Joe FM as well as on Hits 103.9 FM. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Thanks for listening. This show will be available as a podcast on the Joy News YouTube channel as well as on all podcast platforms. We're back again next Friday. Until then, do take care of yourself and bye.